The Diary of Samuel Pepys, Monday, 1st of October, 1660. Early to my lord to Whitehall, and there he did give me some work to do for him, and so with all haste to the office. Dined at home, and my father by chance with me. After dinner he and I advised about hangings for my rooms, which are now almost fit to be hung, the painters beginning to do their work today. After dinner he and I to the Meter, where my uncle White, whom my father fetched thither, while I drank a glass of wine privately with Mr. Mansell, a poor reformado of the Charles, who came to see me. Here we stayed and drank 3 or 4 pints of wine, and so parted. I home to look after my workmen, and at night to bed. The commissioners are very busy disbanding of the army, which they say do cause great robbing. My layings out upon my house in furniture are so great that I fear I shall not be able to go through them without breaking one of my bags of £100, I having but £200 yet in the world. The 2nd of October, 1660. With Sir William Penn by water to Whitehall, being this morning visited before I went out by my brother Tom, who told me that for his lying out of doors a day and a night, my father had forbade him to come any more into his house, at which I was troubled, and did soundly chide him for doing so, and upon confessing his fault I told him I would speak to my father. At Whitehall I met with Captain Clerk, and took him to the Leg in King Street, and did give him a dish or 2 of meat, and his purser that was with him, for his old kindness to me on board. After dinner I to Whitehall, where I met with Mrs. Hunt, and was forced to wait upon Mr. Scowen at a committee to speak for her husband, which I did. After that I met with Llewellyn, Mr. Farge, and took them both to the Dog, and did give them a glass of wine. After that at Will's I met with Mr. Spicer, and with him to the Abbey to see them at Vespers. There I found but a thin congregation already. So I see that religion, be it what it will, is but a humour, and so the esteem of it passeth, as other things do. From thence with him to see Robin Shaw, who has been a long time ill, and I have not seen him since I came from sea. He is much changed, but in hopes to be well again. From thence by coach to my father's, and discoursed with him about Tom, and did give my advice to take him home again, which I think he will do in prudence, rather than put him upon learning the way of being worse. So home, and from home to Major Hart, who is just going out of town tomorrow, and made much of me, and did give me the oaths of supremacy and allegiance, that I may be capable of my arrears. So home again, where my wife tells me that she has bought today, namely, a bed and furniture for her chamber, with which, very well pleased, I went to bed. As a small note to that entry, the 4 humours of the body described by the old physicians were supposed to exert their influence upon the mind, and in course of time the mind as well as the body was credited with its own particular humours. The modern restricted use of the word humour did not become general until the 18th century.